Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Chase, and my first ever video is going to be a review on my Fiesta ST. And of course my neighbor starts using his weed whacker. You're going to have to mind the rain, but I think the first thing we're going to do is start by looking over the exterior. I'll tell you guys what I think about it, I'll tell you guys what I don't like about it, and yeah, I mainly like it for the most part. There's a couple things about the exterior that I don't like, but yeah, let's get started. We'll start with the front here. As you can see, the car has quite a large headlight right here that goes all the way, probably about a third away down the fender, followed by, you know, halogen headlamps all the way through. There's no LEDs on the ST in the US. That's only a UK thing. Next up, we have our fog lights right here, which pretty good for the most part. This one actually went out right now, but it's just a halogen fog light. You can get LED upgrades. That's something I do kind of want to do. It's like $200, but it's not too big of a deal. Next, we have the grill. The grill is like a large honeycomb style grill. I find it pretty attractive. It's very Aston Martin like, with the ST logo over on the right side of it, or you know, the left side if you're standing behind the car. But then below that you have a decently large opening for the intercooler. As you can see, I have a Cobb aftermarket intercooler, so it shows a lot more than the factory one, but you can still see the factory one pretty well through those vents. We have our 17-inch wheels here. These are a 205/40 R17 tire, so it's a Bridgestone Potenza. Mine are getting pretty bald actually, but yeah, I do like the front end of the car. The hood sweeps down nicely. I like the front bumper. I think it looks very attractive. I like these little lines right here you have on the fog light housing. Kind of gives it an aerodynamic look, you know. Good overall front end in my opinion. Taking a look at the back here, we can see the car does come with a pretty nice lower rear valance in my opinion. I really like the way it looks. We have our backup camera here. I have a Cobb license plate surround. Pretty nice looking wing. I like it. I do have the wing risers on there, so gives it kind of like an RS, you know, lifted up kind of style look. I really enjoy it. Your Fiesta badge is over on the left side of the car over here. I have a muffler delete right now. Normally you would have two chrome polished exhaust tips if the car was stock. Getting in the rear of the Fiesta can be somewhat challenging sometimes. In this clip, I had the seat pretty far forward just to show you guys like some optimal leg room. But you know, if I'm sitting behind myself, I still actually have a decent amount of leg room, and I don't even sit like super close to the steering wheel or anything. So you know, it does have space in the back, but you do have to mind that it is a small car, and you know, things do get kind of crammed back there sometimes. Alright, so now we're sitting in the front of the Fiesta. There's a lot of things I enjoy about it. I have my access port mounted right here, monitoring everything I want to monitor. You have a soft touch dash up on like the lower portion of the dash up here. It's still hard touch plastic up here, which is fine, but ignore my cracked windshield. The gauges, I like the gauges. They're pretty basic, but it's kind of funny. That's where your high beam will show right there. It's kind of just like this one little area is for just the high beams, but if you press the end of this stalk right here, then you can look at all of your different info. My car just hit 40,000 miles, but as you can see, let me go back to that, I have 28.1 average miles per gallon. Now I do drive on the freeway a lot, but that's pretty amazing for a car that's full stage 2 and tuned, you know, everything, still getting 30 miles a gallon pretty much all the time. So that's pretty awesome. But you can look through your trips, you can look through your fuel economy up here, your mileage, you know, your tank, when your tank's going to be empty, so all that good stuff. Coming over to the entertainment center, I do like the Apple CarPlay. Sometimes this stereo will not turn on if the vehicle gets too hot, if your car sits for a while. It only started happening to me recently. It didn't happen when I first got the car, but it's something I've noticed, and it's kind of frustrating. So what I've done is I've started putting like a hoodie or something, or like a jacket on top of this when I park my car if it's hot outside, and that will protect it from getting hot, and then it will turn on every time. But you have source button right here, sound button right here to adjust, you know, your fade and your left right balance and stuff like that. You have your tune buttons, you have forward and backward seek track, you have your volume right here. It is a Sony stereo. It does sound pretty good in my opinion. It does not have a sub, but I really do like the way it sounds for a stock system compared to something like an older Civic, which I've pretty much mostly driven before this car. So moving on to the climate control, you have a single zone climate control with you do have rear defrosting mirrors. I don't know if you can see that. Is it on that one? Oh no, it says it on that one. Yeah, right there. See a little. So those are heated mirrors. Those come on when you press this. And yeah, single zone climate control, pretty basic. It is automatic, but I don't really use the automatic function. You do have your light controls here, right here, which is very cool. So if you look right there, you can change the color of the lighting in the car, and it will show under the floorboard right here, and it will show back here on the car. So that's a pretty cool feature. I really like that. You do have heated seats for the driver and passenger. It is only on or off. There is no high, low, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another thing about the Focus ST. It does have a 5-way adjustable heated seat, so you know that is another upgrade too. But you still have your steel pedals here, which feel really nice. I really like the way they feel. Very I wish I could heel toe, because this is the gas pedal is so much farther forward than the brake. I still want to learn how to heel toe, but anyways, yeah, the seating is pretty nice. I actually really enjoy how the part of it's fabric and not all leather, so it doesn't get so hot. You have your nice big ST logo here, kind of hot boy looking. This car does come with a sunroof, since I do have it fully loaded pretty much. So you do have a sunroof that tilts, obviously, and then it has it automatically opens, and it won't go all the way back when you open it. You have to push it back a little farther, and then it'll be all the way open. So there's that. You do have these little side mirrors right here, which I don't really use them, but when you're kind of looking to the right mostly, it does help to see more. But I mean, my access port right here kind of blocks the other one, so it's just kind of useless. But yeah, this is your adjustment for your mirrors. Here's your window switches. Yeah, this is hard plastic up here on the upper door. Here's your tweeter. You do have a pretty padded door panel. I like the way it feels a lot. It feels good on your elbow when you put it there. The steering wheel feels pretty good. I like it a lot. It's not too bad. It has a very squishy leather. You have your volume controls over here, which I like, so you can be like maybe, you know, shifting or doing something and adjust your volume at the same time. You know, I just kind of like having the volume over here. It just feels better for me. You do have your Siri button right here, so you can ask Siri a question if you need to. And yeah, I like the front of the Fiesta a lot. It's a pretty great place to be. Try and get a little clip of the exhaust right here. I purchased this car back in June of 2018 for $24,000 after my trade-in, and I have loved it ever since. I bought it with 56 miles on it, and we're at about 40,000 now, as I mentioned earlier. And I have not had one single major issue that has ever let me down. This car's never left me stranded. The only weird thing that this car does is it will, sometimes when you put gas in it and you fill it up, it doesn't really matter how much you put in it. Sometimes when you put gas in it, it will idle weird and it will die. It will actually die sometimes. Just, you'll pull away from the pump and it will just go and just die. So, you know, it's kind of a weird thing. My friend bought a Fiesta ST about 6 months after I bought mine, or about a year after I bought mine, and his was doing the same thing, and he actually went to Ford and had it fixed, I believe. So it's something they will probably cover under warranty, but it hasn't really affected my driving, and it doesn't, you know, I usually start my car up and start driving so quick. If it does happen, I don't really notice it. So it's just, you know, there's very minimal to consider when buying this car. You just have to think, do I want something sporty? Do I want something that is going to get great gas mileage? Am I going to have to deal with this ride quality a little bit? Maybe. Am I going to have to deal with smaller spaces sometimes? Maybe. But if you don't drive around people a lot and you like having a fast, small car like I do, then I really think this is the car for you, because it's fantastic. You know, it comes with a really nice modern touchscreen entertainment system, and I think it has the best characteristics it could for this class of car. So okay, now getting back to the driving, I'm on a pretty open road here right now. Yeah, this car is great. It's very easy to park. You can park it anywhere. The turning radius can be okay, but yeah, this car has so much power. Honestly, for what it is. Stock, they make about 195 horsepower wheel. That was 5th gear. And with the upgrades I have, I'm guessing I'm making around 215-ish wheel and like almost 300 foot-pounds of torque. You know, those numbers, don't quote me on those. Those aren't, you know, I've never had this car dynoed. I only have a flash tune, but yeah, I am really enjoying this car. First gear acceleration here with traction control off. Overall, what's the final verdict? You know, you're really gonna have to decide if this is the kind of car you want. You know, it's a small hatchback. It's not a luxury car. It's more of a sports-oriented car. So you have to decide if that's something you want to drive every day. You know, there's a lot of things that I love about this car. There's only minimal things I don't like about this car. But I'm a 22-year-old guy. You know, there's a lot of guys I know like cars like this. So, you know, it has to fit your taste. You know, that's how I think about these cars. If this is not the car for you, it's not the car for you, and you will know that right away. You know, people say, you know, you can get it without the cars and stuff, but I truly don't see the point, because then you're just gonna want them later down the road. You know, and if you get a base model ST, everybody knows that Fords don't really resell that well. So if you did end up wanting to sell the car, having that Recaro package on there really does, you know, help you sell the car better, because you can sell it for a